and restart. Okay, so now the same procedure again. So I'm gonna be pressing F12. F12, yes. For boot options on your laptop, this might be different, obviously. So diskette drive, and now you see like already we have a different, sort of a different menu here. And I just press tab, and here are the boot codes that we have provided during the installation. So now the problem is that if I boot just with this settings and without nothing much else but this settings, it won't actually load. Well, I'm almost 100% sure it won't load those packages that we specify. Let's actually figure this out to make sure. And yeah, also it tells me to pick up the video mode. So to go for my like normal mode, like that's my notebook is expecting like 1366 by 768. But if I go for that, you would hardly see something on the screen currently. So let's stick to the current mode. So I go to A to just keep the current mode. But again, just to give you an idea that it can be really changed. Why the picture is so horrible. Well, anyways, turn on the light. This is gonna be a little bit better. No, it's even worse. Yeah, I hate shooting the desktop with like this, but well, anyways. So you see, like now, if I try to connect to Wi-Fi, it says like it's not available there. So what's wrong? Well, that's because we need to manually load all the things, and I will show you this. But before that, let me just show you another little trick. So if I say sudo reboot, how to, if you're not going for a persistent home directory, there is a way to how to access those packages automatically. And F12 today. Yes, I didn't miss it. Cool. So I just temporarily disable this home thing like this. And now, surprisingly, yeah, by the way, just to give you an idea, so this is the native resolution. So like it's a bit different. It's even worse. Sorry for that. Yeah, now you see, like now it does actually indeed. It just did upload all the packages, like loaded all the packages, and here as well. So if I don't use the persistent home directory, yeah, so I'm in the shell back. So here, if I say sudo and let's say Wi-Fi shell, then indeed it starts scanning for available networks. Yeah, I probably can hardly see that, but trust me, it is. Yeah, so now again I can pick up one and entering the password from Wi-Fi. So hopefully I want to be able to connect now. That's not really the thing. Yeah, I do obtain the IP address. Yes, it seems like I'm wondering. Do I have CURL as some sort of a dependencies? No, I don't. Well, which is quite okay. Well, but anyways, if I now I can manage. Now I can go to TCE/AB, which is the app browser, and let's say S for search, starting chars. Well, let's try Python, for instance. And yeah, this is what he found in regards to Python, for instance. Yes, like Py3. Well, I probably should have enter selection, quit. Let's say next. For instance, yeah, here we have this Python 3.6 stuff. So once we know this, how it's spelled, we then can load this. But I'll show this a little bit later because we really want to have this persistent home directory. So I just quit from here for now. Quit. And I do sudo reboot. And it took me quite a bit of time to actually get used to this stuff because it wasn't that clear the first time. Anyways, so now we'll start altering the hrc file. And we'll go to the default mode. Now we do go to the default mode. So enter video mode. So I stick to this current one. So make sure you see something on the screen. Just give you an idea that indeed it was kind of possible to, yeah, no, at least some letters are seen, hopefully, fortunately. So let's list mount SDB common desktop environment. I'll actually mount SDB entirely. Yeah, we don't yet. Yeah, it's actually, nope, actually not yet. So it only has the CDE, the common desktop environment. And if we download some package, it will create another folder called TCE, which stands for Tiny Core Extensions. But now we only need this one. So SDB CDE list and slash. By the way, now you see, like I type tab and it doesn't give this horrible terminal bell. Okay, optional. And here are the packages that we are supposed to load. So we want all TCZ packages. And now here is a TCE. Let me see the command. TCE load. I don't even. Yeah, it should be TCE load. TCE load -I to load existing packages. And indeed, I do load existing packages from now on. And the command that we've just used is actually going to be really useful. So we want to do this every time when we do boot to our system. So we'll now provide that. But now, if I say sudo Wi-Fi shell, even though we are using the persistent home directory, now it actually runs the app for the Wi-Fi. So I don't want to connect now because it doesn't make sense at the moment. So we go back, and now ls -o -a. So here is the file hrc, which is no, it's history. Hrc is here. So if I say vi .hrc, then here I want to add a new line. So just I want to say load packages on ash start. So ash is just simply the shell. So here I can say TCE load, and I really hope I spell this properly because otherwise it's just not going to be working. -I. Now what we already did: mount SDB CDE optional and all the TCZ files. And this should be fairly enough. So right quit, and let's do sudo reboot. Okay. So far so good. So if I did everything properly, it now should already kind of upload like all this Wi-Fi related packages just when the computer boots. So default normal mode. Okay, and I will also show you how the home directory has been affected. So here it doesn't load extensions. It says that it does load extensions, but actually it doesn't. But here, when you see, like, it just did automatically loaded all the extensions because this was in the hrc file. So now, although I boot from within the persistent directory, I can also do sudo Wi-Fi shell. And this actually indeed sees this script to connect to the network. I don't want this for now. Well, actually, I could have. Yeah, because we're gonna be downloading some more packages. Anyways, so let me show you another little thing. So let's cd to mount, well actually not, let's not cd, let's just ls mount sdb. You see the home directory appears. It wasn't there before. I guess it wasn't. Well, actually, it creates this automatically usually. So let's inspect what is in the home. And in here we have this TC user, which we currently have. I'm not sure if it works with custom users and custom machines. I didn't yet test this, so can't say much about that. Hopefully it does. TC. And here to see all the things, I can say minus a to see all, and this hrc should I see if I so this is the home directory that is on the USB flash drives. If I open this with a VI, nothing happens, probably because I like .hrc. So here down below you see this line has been added, and when it has been added, when I reboot the computer. So every time I reboot the computer, it actually updates, it synchronizes the home directory. So there is even the script where you can see how this happens. So if you have a look at, let's say, ls opt and the shutdown script here. So shutdown. Let's have a look at the script. Here is the script that actually synchronizes those directories. I didn't yet read through this, but definitely should be doing this exact thing. At least they told this on the forums. Anyways, so now the next thing we're gonna try. So let's say you forgot. So you can actually have all these all the packages you want being created, like when you're creating your image. But let's say you forgot something, or you want to add something later. So how to download one? So again, like we go to TCEAB application browser, and let's go for keywords now. So let's say Python. That address. Oh, that's probably because I didn't connect. Yes, I didn't connect to Wi-Fi. So let's do again sudo wi-fi.shell. And by the way, let me have a look. Ls -a. Yeah, it didn't yet provide I'll now show you. So it also saves the password to the Wi-Fi. So wi-fi.shell. I just connect to Wi-Fi and then I reboot to show you how this works. So like this. Now password. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is very unstable, so I really hope that it actually indeed manages to connect, because otherwise I can, yeah, hopefully it does. And now you see like this Wi-Fi DB file appears. So if we have a look what is in there, Wi-Fi DB, we have the SSID, the password, and the encryption type, the WPA. So now if I reboot, this file would get stored to my persistent home directory, and when I reboot it would get loaded, so the next time I don't have to enter the password. Let me demonstrate you that. So say sudo and reboot. I don't know how for you guys, but for me personally, playing around with this tiny core Linux is something absolutely fascinating. I really like it so much. I can't express it enough, to be honest. Okay, diskette drive and default mode, and setting up the resolution. All right. Now it automatically uploads, like loads all the packages. And now if I say, let's have ls, and you see this Wi-Fi database is still there. So it says say cat Wi-Fi db. You see like it just synchronized with the persistent home folder. So although we're doing this from the live USB flash drive. So if I now say Wi-Fi .shell and do this as the super user, obviously, And I can add this another line to automatically try to connect to Wi-Fi on boot to the Azure C, obviously. So I hope that's self-explanatory. So now I only provide the Wi-Fi network as SID, and it automatically sends the credentials that is stored in the Wi-Fi.db file, which is really nice. So just connect it without a need to specify the password anymore. And now I go to TCE application browser again, searching by the keyword, searching for Python. Okay. Yes, it doesn't show it to me here. Yeah, but actually it shows, already starts showing here. Yeah, let me just for clarity, escape from here. And let's go to keywords, say Python 3.6. And yeah, still not really that nicely. Okay, here is the package. So Python 3.6 .tcz. So I now go to, and also I wanna, yeah, I also want to search for Python 3.6 pip. Yeah, and indeed we have this pip as well. So quick quit, and now TCE load, and -W to download and -I to install. So this is essential. In this case, it would then copy all the newly installed packages back to the USB flash drive, which is cool. So I say Python 3.6.tcz, and here we go. And it starts downloading the package. This is really cool. There are really lots of packages available there. It's absolutely amazing. Python pip. There is Python 3.9 as well, but it doesn't have own pip. And actually, we can trick the existing pip to store not to the Python 3.6, but to Python 3.9, and actually use pip 3.6 to download the packages for Python 3.9. But since I don't really see much reason of using Python 3.9, and Python 3.6 is fairly enough, so maybe it's just better to wait until they create the pip 3.9, Python 3.9 pip instead. Anyways, now if I say Python 3, maybe even just Python doesn't work, Python 3, and indeed we have Python 3.6.12. This is great, but for instance, I want to say import requests, and I don't have this module, so what would I do? I say pip3, or just pip, maybe pip, not sure, pip install requests, and I want to install this to the current user. And yes, collecting requests, downloading, great. And also I want to download the beautiful soup for parsing HTML, so I say pip install BS for a current user. I'm doing this for a current user because in this case it stores to the stores the pip package to my home directory, which would then be synchronized with the USB flash drive. So that's great. And now let's say again, I say Python 3. Now I can say import requests, and it imports, and then from VS4 import beautiful soup, and it does. And now let's say response equals to requests.get, and let's say HTTPS. Let's go to GitHub, github.com. Okay, now content. If I don't remember how to use beautiful soup, I don't really get text. Should be getting all the text. So beautiful soup rest.text. I don't have the XML parser, so I don't specify anything. So hopefully we're going to be using the standard HTML parser. Really hope so. And yes, and if I say content, Okay, so this is all we have there. We don't want that all. Oh, please stop. Okay, we have this HTML, but actually I want to say content dot. Is this called get text? I'm not quite sure. Yes. And now also we have last text, so we can also say, for instance, let's actually print to wait scene the new line characters. Nope. Oh, we just can encode some characters. Yeah, it's not really that perfect, but anyways, I hope you got the idea. You got the idea really. So let's just replace, for instance, the new line characters with nothing. Yeah, so we have some text from there. So just to give an idea that networking is actually working. And before we end this tutorial, one last thing. So we just installed 2 packages, and let's do sudo reboot. And the next time we go, the problem would be that those packages we initially installed and loaded with our image, they would still be loaded. However, those that we just installed will not be loaded. But here is another trick that you can do, and I'll show you how to do this manually, and then if you want, you would be able to add another line to #rc to get the jobs done. So now if I say Python 3, nothing happens because Python is not loaded. However, if I say ls and mount sdb, I'm not quite sure. Well, hold on a sec. Why didn't it create the folder, TCE folder? Oh, that's why. Okay, guys. So yeah, actually, I messed up a little bit. So, but this is good in terms of if you're gonna be doing this. These are the pitfalls to avoid. So we need to specify this TCE folder manually, and yeah, I also need to alter my my book codes, because otherwise, unfortunately, it's not gonna be working. So yeah, of course, I need to specify this. So here I say TCE equals to sdb. So I'm gonna be storing this to the flash drive. So this is essential. So have this TCE here as well, right? I'll then need to manually update this because by default it would be just erasing every time. But if you're gonna be following the tutorial, yeah, you can just do this at the very beginning. You should have been doing this at the very beginning. Sorry for not mentioning that. I just forgot about this. But now, what is really cool? Now it would actually be storing those packages. Yeah, it's even cool that I forgot about this, because otherwise there are a whole lot of questions on the TinyCore forum, like why the packages been installed are not persistent. So this is the reason how to get done with this. So again, ls and mount and sdb. Yes, I have this TCE folder now, so it would be stored there. It's very essential. So now again, let's say I want to say sudo Wi-Fi shell connecting to Wi-Fi. And again, like you can add this line to like sudo Wi-Fi shell to your #rc, and then you will be prompted with this on boot. But that's already like personal consideration whether to do this or not. So TCE load and Python -wwi Python 3.6.tcz. I will only install Python now. I'm going to be installing Python pip. well, actually, hold on a sec. If I did everything properly, then even though I don't have Python pip bin installed now, I actually should have requests still being installed. Let me quickly, and indeed, yeah, I have requests being installed. This is so cool. So yeah, even though I didn't save this Python and pip, still, let's actually quickly install pip as well. But all those packages installed with pip has been stored because they are stored in the home directory. Great. So now we have Python and pip, and now let's also install Git, for instance, because Git is a very essential tool. It has Git there. It's really amazing thing. Let's just say Git, and it works. I can just clone some of my code, for instance, just to give an idea. And by the way, should probably store this into the main directory as well. So let's say git clone https github.com and have the editor called edit. Yes, cd edit ls. Ls. Yes, and Python 3 edit.py. Yeah, I have my text editor here. So far, so good. And let's quit. And now final reboot. So sudo reboot. And now after this reboot, finally, well, at least I really hope so, that all the packages and even this newly downloaded package should be in my home directory, and also Python should also be, as well as pip, as well as Git, they should be available as well. So it's a bit tedious, but it's so fun. It's incredibly fun. Right. Well, I've just realized that actually whatever packages I have installed, and hold on a sec, and even though I didn't specify the TCE folder again, yeah, probably if I now install something new, won't get saved. So yeah, I really need to make sure that in the book codes I have this TCE in the folder. But anyways, now it even seemed to automatically load Python, which is absolutely amazing. So this might be another way. So in this case, you don't even need to get down with this packages. So if you could have installed these packages, yeah, if you could have installed these packages like to the TCE folder, so that probably can be done manually. Well, anyways, Tiny Core Linux allows you to do so many different things in so many different ways, and this is really cool. And yeah, by the way, I still have my edit project here.